All right, good afternoon once again. This is part two of feature writing unit. So last time, in the last video rather, in the last video, we discussed how to write the lead. I gave examples of what to include in the lead and leads to avoid, and at the same time, we compared two different leads, right? Pero balikan lang muna natin saglit para may konting review at mas malinawan pa natin ng kaunti itong how to write the lead. Kasi sabi ko nga, this is the most important part of the feature. This will make you or break you sa iyong feature article. So, kahit siya ay first paragraph, again, it can still include, or a lead can still have a second and a third paragraph, all pertaining to the lead of the feature. So aside from the fact na first, second, or third paragraph siya, first paragraph or second until the third, it also entices the readers and hooks them into your story. Okay? How do you entice your readers? You can use drama, you can use emotion, you can use quotations, and you can use descriptions. Right? All right, so what are the things that we need to know more about writing the lead? Okay, since it sets the tone, there are things that we need to consider. There are some techniques that we can make use of para mas maging compelling yung ating lead, and we can grab the attention, we can get the attention of our readers more effectively. These things are, of course, first one, asking a question, right? Pwede kang magtanong ng questions, right? Or you can make use of an unusual statement, bagay na hindi pangkaraniwang naririnig or bago sa pandinig. You can make use of a scene. You can describe a scene, a scenario. You can present a conversation, right? Pwede kang gumamit ng mausapan, mga dialogue sa simula. Pwede kang gumamit ng powerful quotes, right? Pwede kang gumamit ng story, okay? Tell a brief story. Pwede kang magbigay ng surprising or alarming statistics as part of your lead. Pwede ka rin gumamit ng historical or current issues, current event. Pwedeng event sa kasalukuyan or pwede rin namang historical event. So itong mga bagay na to, questions, unusual statements, scenario, conversation, brief story or anecdotes, right? Alarming statistics or yung mga nakakamanghang mga stats or facts, okay? Quotes, historical events. Ito ay can make your lead an attention-grabbing lead, okay? Para you can draw in your audience. So aside from that, ang pwede pa natin gamitin, pwede naman tayong gumamit ng controversy, yung mga controversial mga issues or contradiction to an issue. Okay, you can make use of a quotation, an adage, a proverb, right? An unusual opinion, a riddle, a dialogue, an onomatopoeia. Alright, so sige, tingnan muna natin yung mga yan. Wait lang. So these are the following other examples of attention-grabbing lead. Ayan. So, siguro mga sample ng mga riddle. Alam niyo naman yung mga riddle, like mga bugtong. Example, who am I? I have no voice, I speak to thousands, mga ganun. I tell stories without mentioning a word. Okay? So, sino ako? Right? Mga ganun. Though di ko alam kung anong sagot. Right? But you can give a riddle. What is this that walks on four legs? Something like that. Okay? Or use onomatopoeias like clang, 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 ting, ting, ting. Right? The early morning bells shattered, shattered the early morning bells shattered the silence, okay, as welding sounds in the school building. Um, mga ganong mga bagay. So you can make use of sounds, right? Again, all for the purpose of um, effective storytelling and um, having techniques to grab the attention of the readers. So, ayun yung mabigay natin examples kanina, no? Nabanggitan natin to sa previous video, right? And some leads to avoid, okay? Mga dictionary type, mga it's official start, mga mystery type, na-avoid natin yan. Weird linkage or atypical lead, hindi masyadong, walang connection, okay? An informative question lead. Kumbaga, question lead siya pero wala kang, hindi siya ganun ka-informative or wala kang makukuha sa kanya. Right? Then we compare these leads. And now we're moving on with writing the body. So how do we write the body of the feature article? So in the body, when we're writing the body, we're actually writing the guts of the story. Okay? It is the longest part, yung pinaka-importanteng part, mga information rather, the more important information ay nandito sa body, wala sa lead. So sa hard news or sa mga straight news, syempre ang pinaka-important yung mga information nasa lead. Pero sa ating feature, yung mga descriptions, details, and information, nandito siya sa body. So, it's also the longest part. So, because it's the longest, you need to vary the pace. Okay? Sabihin, may maigsing sentences, merong mahabang sentences, yung dahan-dahan, hindi masyadong mabagal ang pag-transition from one part of the story to the next. Di naman din masyadong abrupt or masyadong mabilis yung pacing. So you have to vary the pace. Minsan may unti-unti mong nire-review. Minsan naman merong, um, merong flashes of scenes, okay? And another way to keep it, to keep with the variety, ay to keep it fresh, okay? How do you vary the pacing rather, and how do you keep it fresh? You can use quotes, anecdotes, okay, descriptions and details, and some specific examples. Okay, so how do you develop the story? Okay, you expand the lead. Kapag sa body, you have to um, expand your lead, right? Also, you can use transitions. You can ensure uh, when you're using transitions, you can ensure that there's smooth flow between paragraphs, and you incorporate, ito nakalagay lang sa atin, di ba? Quotes and anecdotes, you incorporate quotes and anecdotes para makapag-add ng depth and authenticity. Nabanggit natin to in the previous video. Now, when you're adding quotes, mas authentic yung dating ng ating paragraphs. Also, you provide context by providing background information, in order for you to enhance and promote understanding sa readers mo. So when you try to provide context, isa sa mga ginagawa natin is we provide description, yan, for description and details. Nagdedetalye tayo, nag-explain tayo. And we try to maintain engagement, we keep the narrative compelling throughout the story. We can give examples para mas maintindihan pa. So, ganitong mga bagay na to. Okay? So, what you need in the body is you develop the story by expanding the lead, you make use of transitions, you incorporate quotes, you provide context by explaining, providing information, by describing and giving details, and you maintain the engagement by um, keeping the narrative, yung nandyan pa rin yung mga quotes, nandyan yung mga descriptions, yung hindi nawawalan ng interest yung readers. Like all throughout, engage sila at mas binabasa pa nila. Alright? So, when you're writing the body, ayan, mahalaga yung background information. You bring the readers up to date. The background is the background information, isa siya sa important components ng body. Dapat meron kang background information. Also, you have to have the thread of the story. You have to connect the body and the introduction, the body, and the conclusion with transitions. Yung nabanggit ko kanina. You use dialogue. You give strong mental images. You keep them attached and connected still. Kapag kasi nawawala yung mga dialogues, nawawala rin sila sa story or nawawala rin sila sa flow ng narration. So, you keep the dialogue coming, especially if it's needed. Okay? Sparingly din, hindi naman tagtag ng dialogue. Okay? Just when you see na there's a need to create mental image, okay, you include dialogue. Kung hindi enough yung mental image na nakikreate mo through words, through descriptions, then you can provide dialogue para mas ma-immerse sila doon sa pinaka story. Okay? And then you add voice. Okay? This is the signature or personal style of the writer. Okay? So these are important components dapat meron kang sa body. May background, may magandang transitions, may dialogue, at the same time, may magandang voice. Okay? Yung personal style mo na doon. Yung personal style mo, makikita mo yan in how you keep the narrative. Okay? And how do we write the conclusion? In writing the conclusion, okay, it says here, while the lead draws the reader in, the conclusion should be written to help the reader remember the story. Kung itong lead ay para ma-capture mo yung attention nila, yung conclusion naman is also one of the most important parts para maalala ng tao ano ba yung nabasa nila. Okay? This will wrap up the story and come back to the lead. Okay? Babalik at babalik ka pa rin sa pinupunto ng lead when you write the conclusion. So it's often, kadalasan, quotation siya or a surprising climax. So unlike hard news stories, features need endings. Okay? May mga endings ang feature story. Sa hard news kasi, wala siyang ending. Kung saan matapos yung pinaka least important information, dun na yun. But sa features, meron tayong conclusion, meron tayong ending. So the end can be, yung ending natin, pwede ka magbigay ng comment, pwede ka magbigay ng quote, ng question, or summary of the article, or summary of the feature. Okay? So you can conclude by reflecting. Pwede kang magbigay ng insights mo or lessons learned. Lessons learned, ano yung mga natutunan after the article, after nila mabasa, anong pwede nilang matutunan. You can circle back. Okay? Sabihin ng circling back, you reference to the lead or the main thing, babalikan mo yung lead mo. Or look ahead. Okay? Na sabihin, you suggest future implications. So ano mga pwede mong gawin? Pwede kang mag-reflect. Okay? Yung ano ang lessons. So it means lessons. Pwede kang mag-circle back. Ibig sabihin ng circle back ay babalik ka sa lead. Alright? Kung ano yung sinasabi mo sa lead, you go back to there at i-emphasize mo siya ulit or look ahead. Okay, when you say look ahead, meron kang, you suggest. Okay? Magbibigay ka ng suggestion for the future and so on. Right? So that's how you conclude. For the writing steps, meron tayong tinatawag na pre-writing, writing, revising, and proofreading. So medyo maiksi lang tong part na to. Okay, sa pre-writing, you find the story. Hanap ka ng magandang i-cover. You gather information. Okay? You determine the type of feature na gagamitin mo. Pa-personality sketch ba siya? Pa-travelogue ba ang gagawin mo? Pa-analytical ba siya? May analysis? And so on. Binanggit natin yung mga different types of features. So you can decide in the pre-writing anong form or anong type ng feature ang gagawin mo. So choose a single focus. Isa lang dapat yung focus mo. Isa lang yung subject mo. Kasi pag marami, may hihirapan ka i-develop ito into a story. Okay? So sa writing stage naman, You have to determine the organization, paano mo siya aayusin. Of course, you start with the lead and then ano yung mga sunod-sunod sa body, right? And then you try to draft the lead, you draft the body, and then you draft the conclusion. So as you can see here, naka-draft pa lang siya, right? Hindi pa siya talaga yung final. Ibig sabihin, ano yung um, um, pansamantalang mong lead, pansamantalang parts ng body, pansamantalang conclusion. And then you prepare the headline. Okay? Then after that, you try to revise. Yung ginawa mo kaninang lead, yung ginawa mong body, ginawa mong conclusion, right? Ay, tingnan mo kung meron ka pang dapat i-improve, dapat idagdag, magdadagdag ka ba ng dialogue, magdadagdag ka ba ng description, magbibigay ka pa ba ng sensory images, maglalagay ka ba ng quotes, you try to see where you can improve. And then when you're revising, ito yung mga pwede mong i-check or ask yourselves. You can ask yourselves these questions para makita mo kung anong magandang technique ang pwede mong gamitin. Isa sa mga pwede mong itanong, does the article reflect careful, complete research? Yung article ko ba ay yung research na kinakailangan ay sapat o kulang yung information na naibigay ko o baka misleading, alright? Do I attract readers' attention in the opening paragraph? Balikan mo yung lead mo. Yung lead ko ba ay sapat para makagrab ng attention? Mahook sila? Does the article maintain interest throughout? Baka naman nag-grab ko yung attention ko sa lead pero sa body parang medyo tumamlay na. Parang naging puro information. Parang nawala na yung elements ng imagination, yung elements ng sensory experiences, baka puro facts na lang nabanggit, hindi na ako masyadong gumagamit ng mga vivid descriptions. So yung interest ba na maintain ko? Can I follow a logical organization to achieve my purpose? Baka dun sa body, patalon-talon yung ine-explain ko. I-check mo kung logical yung order ng ine-explain mo. Let's say, for example, you want to write a feature on a certain procedure, okay? Enrollment procedure, tapos patalon-talon yung steps na binigay mo, okay? Try to check if merong logical organization doon sa iyong body. Have I maintained unity? Have I varied sentence structures in keeping with the tone and purpose? Are transitions sufficient to guarantee smooth reading? Baka hindi alam ng readers na nag-transition ka na pala from one point to another because there's this lacking of transitional devices. Does the word choice show freshness and originality? O baka yung mga words na ginagamit hindi appropriate at hindi bagay doon sa article? Okay? Or hindi naman siya maintindihan? Hindi reader-friendly? Have I eliminated wordiness? So, kahit mas mahaba ang ating feature article, ay mas maigi pa din na hindi siya wordy kasi makakasagabal siya sa pag-intindi ng article kung masyadong maraming salita. You can make use of descriptive words pero still state it na hindi masyadong maraming words. Kung hindi naman necessary yung mga words nito na pahabain yung sentences. Of course, the simpler the sentences are, but more vivid, pero vivid yung description at descriptive naman yung mga words ay you're already doing well, no? Hindi kailangan mahaba. Magkaiba yung mahaba tsaka comprehensive. Do I use good story writing techniques? Okay? So, siguro sa meeting natin, I will give you more actual tips paano gawin ito. Pero these are all rundown tips on how you revise, how you make sure na maganda yung articles mo before you proofread and before you submit it. So, last step ay proofreading. You check the details. Be sure to check your copy carefully for correctness. Okay, spelling, format, okay, information, you proofread everything. And now, ito meron tayong sample feature. Discuss natin din bakit ito naging maayos na feature. So this is Beyond the Belt, the story of a janitor who teaches at night. This is from Maria Andrea Lopez, grade 10 student, feature writing contestant. Well, let's read itong lead. Ito yung part ng lead niya. At 5:30 a.m., the hallways of Santa Lucia National High School echo with the sound of a mop gliding over dusty tiles. Sorry. With a bucket in one hand and a tattered towel draped over his shoulder, Mang Rudy begins his daily ritual, cleaning the school before students arrive. But when the bell rings at 4 p.m. to signal the end of classes, a different kind of work begins for him. So nakita niyo yung lead, una, it tells a story. Meron siyang pa-story, parang may pa-drama, may character involved. Dinescribe din, maraming descriptive words. And at the same time, meron siyang sense of excitement for you to continue into the body. Yeah? Right? But when the bell rings at 4 p.m. to signal the end of classes, a different kind of work begins for him. So, anong klaseng work yun? Ito yung usual yung trabaho, di ba? Sabi natin, meron siyang tattered towel, nasa balikat niya, tapos naglilinis na siya with a bucket dun sa isang kamay niya, right? Nagmamop siya ng floors. Ito yung usual yung trabaho as a janitor. Okay? Pero, at after 4 p.m., something changes. So, anong nakakita natin dito? So, you see how the lead welcomes in the rest of the parts of the body. So, let's see what's in the body. For most students, Mang Rudy is the school janitor. Silent, kind, always smiling. Few know that after hours, he transforms into a teacher. And then meron tayong quote. Magsingit tayo ng quote. I teach out of school youths in our barangays. They call me Sir Rudy there. He says with a grin, eyes gleaming with a quiet pride. Every night under the faint glow of a barangay hall light and with old textbooks uh, he salvaged from the school library. Mang Rudy tutors a group of 10 teenagers aged 13 to 17. They are children who had to stop schoolwork, selling balut, doing laundry, helping their families survive. I was like them, Mang Rudy shares. I never got to finish high school. I promised myself I'd help others not to give up there. So makikita nyo, paano tayo gumamit ng body, nandiyan lahat ng information kung anong klaseng tao siya at 4 p.m., right? And also, nagbigay tayo ng mga examples, okay, kung anong mga ginagawa niya. And at the same time, we added quotations. Yung mga quotations natin should signal the start of another paragraph. Okay? Kung nag-describe ka on one paragraph and you need to add a quotation, you have to move it to the next paragraph. Ayan. Okay? And then, after the paragraph and yung describing word mo, okay, to signal your paragraph, hindi mo siya susunod kagad yung every night doon, no? Hindi siya nakasunod kagad. Kundi start siya na another paragraph. Okay? So, after ng paragraph na to, hindi natin dinugtong yung I was like them here. Okay? Nandito na kagad siya sa next. So, that's how you insert quotations or dialogues within your feature. And for the conclusion, body continuation pa pala. He may not have a diploma, but the knowledge he shares, math drills, reading comprehension, even basic science, is drawn from years of self-study and experience. Students come to him not just for lessons, but for encouragement. So one of them, 15-year-old Joshua says, Sir Rudy taught me how to read. I want to be a teacher like him. So nagkaroon ka na naman ng quotation dito. Not just from Sir Rudy, but from the students he teaches. So what makes his effort more inspiring is that Mang Rudy never gets paid for these sessions. He uses part of his salary, minimum wage as a janitor, to buy school supplies, paper, and even snacks for his students. Despite his limited sources, he continues, meron na naman tayong quotes here, education saved me from a life I didn't want, he says. Now I help others find their way. Alright. And for the conclusion, as he wipes the last desk for going home to teach again, Mang Rudy smells. The school bell stopped ringing at 4. He says, but for me, the lessons never stop. So, kanina sa lead natin, dinescribe natin paano si Mang Rudy as a janitor. So, sa conclusion natin, kung mapapansin nyo, parang bumalik din tayo sa lead natin. We tried to describe again how Mang Rudy, okay, si Mang Rudy as a janitor. Okay? Para meron tayong link dun sa ating conclusion and sa ating team. Okay? And so as he wipes last desk before going home to teach again, Mang Rudy smiles. The school bell may stop ringing at 4. Tapos na ang school, pero para sa kanya, lessons never stop. Kasi he will teach again students starting at 4. Nakita niyo yung pagkakadugtong ng lead natin tsaka ng conclusion. At saka yung similarity nila na at the lead kanina, dinescribe natin paano siya as a janitor. And then here, bumalik na naman tayo sa conclusion. Paano rin siya as a janitor. Pero sinum up natin, we also added as a sum up na like a mini quote from him that lessons never stop. Okay? Yung parang essence. Nagbigay din tayo ng moral or nagbigay din tayo ng lesson dito sa end na to, no, ng reflection. So, it's actually very short conclusion pero parang nandoon lahat ng traits ng isang magandang conclusion. So, paano to naging magandang good feature story? Meron tayong strong humanizing lead. Okay? Paano siya naging humanizing? Because we are letting into the human experience. Okay? The story starts with a vivid, emotional image that introduces the subject in a compelling way. Sino ba yung subject natin? Si Mang Rudy. So we are trying to introduce him not just by saying he's a janitor. Mang Rudy is a janitor at 4 p.m. Sorry, he's a janitor at Santa Lucia National High School but he's a teacher at night. Pag ganun ang lead natin, di ba? Parang hindi siya ganun ka-exciting o hindi ganun ka-compelling, hindi ganun ka-interesting pakinggan. Pero if we want to introduce our character in a vivid and emotional image, ganun yung ginawa natin kanina, right? Kung paano siya maglinis, kung ano yung mga hawak niya, ano itsura niya habang naglilinis. So yung lead natin, is very strong and humanizing as well. We're letting our readers into the character of the subject. Meron din tayong clear feature angle. Ano yung human interest ng angle natin. Rather than just reporting the facts, the article tells a heartwarming story of a man living a double life. A janitor by day, teacher by night, making it both emotional and inspirational. Okay? So, pinapakita natin ano ginagawa niya sa araw, ano ginagawa niya sa gabi, at kung ano yung mga sacrifices niya, nabanggit din, di ba? Yung from his minimum wage, ano yung mga sinasacrifice niya or mga binibili niya para sa mga bata na to na hindi naman nakakapag-aral. There's also use of quotes and anecdotes. Mang Rudy's own words and the testimonials from his students add authenticity and relatability. Kaya mahalaga yung interview, ano? Kasi kapag wala kang interview, wala kang mailalagay na quote na coming really directly from the subjects or yung sa mga parte ng feature mo. Magkaiba yung quotes na yung nakukuha sa internet na quotations from authors, ganyan. Hindi yun yung quotes na hinahanap natin. As nasabi natin na quotes and anecdotes are really actual quotes from the subjects or the people involved in the feature. So gumamit tayo ng Mang Rudy's his own words and testimonials from the students. Kaya very authentic yung laman ng feature article. Meron din tayong rich description and storytelling. The story paints a picture of the setting, yung characters and emotions. So like describing the barangay hall, the dusty floors, okay? These help readers visualize the story. So nakikita natin kung paanong si Mang Rudy naglilinis, ano itsura ng school, ano yung setting ng story, ano siya sa gabi. Naririnig pa natin yung mga bells kasi dinidescribe, di ba? At 4 p.m. mag-ring daw ang bell. Tapos magta-transition siya from a janitor to a teacher ng mga out-of-school youth. Okay? So, napaka-rich ng description and storytelling technique na ginamit. May relevance and originality din. It tells a lesser-known story of someone within the school system who's often overlooked. This fresh perspective is often what judges look for. So sa feature writing, yung mga bagay na hindi naman talaga madalas napapansin, tapos you were able to give depth to the topic at relevance dun sa topic na hindi siya madalas napapansin. Parang plus points yun sa mga judges when they're looking into a quality feature story. May proper structure din siya. Yung lead niya, intriguing and engaging, nakaka-intriga. Ano ba si Mang Rudy kapag sa 4 p.m., after 4 p.m., di ba? Yung body niya, it builds the character. Ano pa ang characteristics niya, anong traits niya, paano siya as a person, yung setting, yung message and logical flow and transitions, maganda. And for the conclusion, may emotional closing that connects back to the lead and the central theme. Factual din siya, yet evocative. Although it's emotionally rich, the article remains grounded in reality with concrete examples and statements. Kahit siya ay emotional, makikita mo na may facts pa rin because you're able to provide direct quotations from the subjects themselves and testimonies from the people involved. Okay. So, discuss natin yung feature output nyo, kung ano yung magiging output. This will be the instruction for the output that will be submitted. Now, you choose your story. Pick a subject or your feature story that reflects the theme, voices from the campus. Okay, yung theme lang to ha, voices from the campus. But it could be any story. At pwede rin siyang kahit anong klaseng type ng feature article. So this could be a profile, pwede siyang profile of a student, teacher, or staff member with an aspiring or unique story. Parang kanina kay Mang Rudy the janitor, right? Pwede naman siyang about club organization or making a difference on campus. These are just samples na I just gave you para meron kayong idea anong pwede isulat, no? A tradition or event that carries emotional or historical weight. May mga ganito ba tayong traditions or events sa campus? A student overcoming challenges in academics, sports, or personal life. Baka may kilala kayong estudyante or person in the school na meron siyang challenges na kinakaharap and overcome nito. That could be a good topic as you choose your story. Now, after you've chosen your story, you can conduct interviews. I encourage you to conduct interviews. No? Huwag kayong gagawa ng story lang base sa kung ano yung alam nyo. Kasi ang alam ko sa story na to, nung taong to, ganito, ganyan. Kasi gagawa na kayo ng feature. Wala ng authenticity. Dapat talagang makuha nyo yung mga remarks, makuha nyo yung mga quotations talaga, testimonies from people really involved. So you can interview at least two sources, at least two, no? Yung pinaka-subject mo or other people for their testimonies na directly involved or knowledgeable about the story. Mag-prepare kayo ng open-ended questions that invite storytelling para mas marami kayong mailagay kasi baka kung ano yung alam nyo, that will limit you. Pero kung marami kayong maitatanong during interview, this can add more details and more substance dun sa isusulat ng feature story. So take accurate notes or record with permission. You have to ask for permission kung kailangan nyo mag-record for the quotes kasi minsan mahirap sulat yung direct post lalo kung mahaba. So, you can ask for your permission if they'll allow you to record the interview. Maggawa rin kayo ng background research. Baka may mga information doon na hindi lang sa interview nyo makukuha pero may related articles na or meron sa internet na related dito. You can do that also, yung background research para mas makadagdag ng factual base dun sa inyong article. Also, this is how you'll write your article. 500 to 700 words. Format natin, Times New Roman, 12 point. Okay, 12 ang font size. Double spaced para to give way sa mga ilang editions or ilang mga marks. Use descriptive languages, add anecdotes and quotes. Avoid hard news styles. Napag-usapan na natin ano yung mga hard news styles. Mag-stick kayo sa storytelling, human emotion, and character. That's how we present soft news or features. Okay? And as you revise and as you submit, these are the specific instructions. Edit your article for clarity, grammar, and structure. And you have to upload your feature in your own folder inside your section's Google Drive. Simula ng May 5 hanggang May 23 only. So after studying this recorded lecture at after ng mga meetings pa natin for some actual coaching, pwede na kayo mag-submit nito ng May 5 hanggang May 23 only. So, ibig sabihin, merong Google Drive folder yung sarili niyong section at yung gagawin ito ng inyong class mayor, created by your class mayor. Ang folder name ay Campus Journal BSN 2D if you're from 2D or Campus Journal BSN 2E if you're from 2E. And then inside the classroom, the sections Google folder ay yung sarili nyong folder. So, starting with your surname, De La Cruz Juan. And then, yung feature article na to, ang magiging file name niya ay feature De La Cruz Juan. Along with the other outputs na gagawin niya. So, kung halimbawa ay editorial De La Cruz Juan naman. Pero you have to wait for the instructions dun sa video ng feature ay ng editorial. Pero sa ngayon, ang magiging laman muna, first output ko ay yung feature. And I'll give the output siguro sa meeting natin para sa news writing during our first meeting. Okay, but for now, ito yung pinaka-first natin na video lecture ay sa feature writing. Ito lahat yung instructions. If there will be questions, sa output ay sasubmit or meron tayong kailangang questions or linawin dito sa lecture na to, syempre hindi naman lahat ng questions masasagot kagad natin na ako lang iisip ng sa tingin ko possible na maging tanong nyo, no? Kasi masyadong mahaba yung video. But we'll have the opportunity na makapagtanong pa personally kung paano natin binubuo ang isang magandang feature article during our lessons. Pero as far as all the structures at yung mga content na kailangan content-wise sa feature writing that will also help you for your unit test ay nandito sa video lecture na to. And yung presentation, I will also provide this for you, okay, as your uh, reference. Okay, so makikita nyo, less naman yung technical terms niya. Pagdating naman sa assessment natin, yung sa mga quizzes or sa unit test, more on the technical aspects lang or mga technical terms na ginamit. At kung mapapansin nyo, konti lang naman sila, di ba? It's more on how you understood the lesson. More on practicality kasi itong mga lessons na to. So, ayun lamang. Okay? I'll see you again soon on the next video meeting.